Hello, welcome to my channel Currency Information. I hope you all are well. Let's start the video. During this period we have learned that the CBI is targeting a new revalued rate for the dinar of 1132 from 1320 and very soon. Already they issued a new rate for foreign travel of 1305 to the US dollar. Is this the last rate change we are looking for prior to the one-to-one coming revaluation and triggering the project to delete the zeros? If you can remember that on August 1, 2023 article, the Prime Minister, Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, described the crisis of the rise in the exchange rate of the dollar against the Iraqi dinar in the local markets as a battle, not a crisis. Al-Sudani said, and I quote, "The battle of the dollar is between the state, which insists on completing the reform of the financial and banking system, and we are going to win the battle." So, then an article came out on this past Wednesday, August 23, 2023. They are telling us that the Parliamentary Finance Committee determined a way to reduce the exchange rate of the dinar. It stressed the implementation of a number of measures in order to reduce the exchange rate of the dollar, whether they are technical or related to the central bank and its procedures. Committee member Mween al-Kazemi said, according to the official newspaper, and I quote, that the important factor for the decline in the dollar exchange rate is the simplification of the central bank's procedures for merchants to urge them to resort to the currency window and not go to the parallel market that caused the high exchange rate. In addition to simplifying the procedures for granting sums to Iraqi travelers, instead of using the current method. They then added that another problem that must be discussed with the U.S. Federal Reserve regarding the countries from which the Iraqi merchant imports and does not grant a transfer to them using the new electronic system, given that there is a national interest and need for the Iraqi people with these import vendors. In other words, they need to have the electronic system updated to include these countries. This way more of the dollars can be accounted for and traced, if in fact they are needed to pay debts to these countries. It appears they may be finally getting to the root of the problem in order to obtain positive results in reducing the exchange rate of the dinar, which we know means to increase its value closer the real value it should be in the first place. We know the value of the dinar is now being artificially suppressed. Last Thursday, August 17, 2023, the Parliamentary Finance Committee identified the features of ending what it calls dollarization in the local markets, in reference to the dollar exchange rate crisis, indicating that 80% of the solutions are internal, not external. Sounds to me like the crisis is just about over, if not over, and they just need to tie up some loose ends. Is Iraq now de-dollarized enough for stability to move to the next stage of the currency reform process? I first heard it when I read the 2011 Dr. Shabibi plan for the reinstatement process. He told us then that the de-dollarization is critical in Iraq's currency reform process. So, it sounds to me like this phase of the Dr. Shabibi plan is ending and they are moving to the next stage of the process. Update on the oil and gas law. Last Friday, the representative of the State of Law Parliamentary Bloc, Firas al-Maslamawi, revealed the oil and gas laws are to be legislated in Parliament in the coming period. We have heard this before, and so what does the coming period mean? Could it be days, weeks or months? But to say this means they are very close. Al-Maslamawi said, the priority of the Presidency of Parliament and the House of Representatives is to legislate the oil and gas laws as sent by the government, and they are in the second stage of proposals. And it will end soon. I believe the hold-up is with the negotiations with Turkey on the operation and maintenance of the Northern Oil Pipeline. Do you remember this is the white paper? So, I am reminding everyone once again that this is their path to Forex. Are they there yet? Are we reaching the proverbial vortex of triggering what we want, DRV? Yes. And we should be very happy at just where we are now. Since January of this year, the main push has been banking reforms and de-dollarization. It has taken longer than we as investors want. But if you read between the lines in today's news, it says they are moving to the next phase of the plan. When they move to the next phase of the process, it will have to be the project to delete the zeros. Just a couple weeks ago, Ali Alak, the CBI governor, told us this project is not off the table, which means also everything else that follows it. Right. Call or text your representatives of how dissatisfied you are with the justice being done in the US about the Biden corruption, and where is the justice when they have a double standard of justice? Where is the punishment for his crimes and of those who surround him? I believe in this regards that September through December are going to be huge for straightening out his mess in the US government. As I stated many times already, the value and rate of the dinar are two different issues. Yes, the rate should reflect a true value, but it does not today. They know it and we know it. Iraq does not have to rebuild their economy for the rate to change accordingly, as the value is already present, just with the resources they can now exploit and sell. Once they do rebuild Iraq cities and grow their economy, the dinar should also then adjust its rate and go even higher, as I plan to put it on a float when it is reinstated. No, it is not possible to float the dinar starting at the program rate. Kuwaiti does not export even 1/3 of the oil that Iraq does, nor is the oil as rich, as their oil needs more refining. Kuwait has very little exports, and Iraq alone will very soon catch up to them without even trying. So why does the IMF and the US still hold back the liberating of the Iraqi dinar? I will tell you why. It is nothing more than blackmail and a corruption scheme that is shortly coming to an end. They need to keep Iraq under their thumbnail and suppressed. They need him as a puppet state, not as an independent and sovereign nation. The CIA reported almost a decade ago, as it stated that Iraq would be a detriment to security of the Middle East, should it ever become independent and wealthy state. So, go figure what is happening just by this statement alone. They can't hide it. We only need to use our God-given brains to see through this masquerade. Don't you think the Iraqi citizens and politicians see it too? I know. I give you other possible scenarios, but these are just developments in the craziness of goals set for Iraq to obtain. These goals should not be something that holds them back. There are other carrots that can be dangled and used to help push them along. They are a very young democracy and they will make mistakes. But they must also learn from the mistakes, and to be a self-governing after nearly 20 years past since 2003, it is about time. Not having an international currency is serious, and we can clearly see it is impacting all aspects of Iraqi life. It is time to liberate the dinar. The CBI knows it as the citizens know it. As we investors know it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel.